You are now listening to The Adult Conversation with Candy, Sunshine, Just Drew, and Unrestricted D. So put the kitties to bed, grab your partners for some adult talk and play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adult Conversation. I am Candy.
I'm Sunshine.
I'm Unrestricted D.
And our other co-part, Just Drew, will not be with us tonight. He got a lot of shit to do.
Late for his flight.
That was what it was? Okay. Yeah, he was. I guess he was flying back from, this dick? I don't know.
True.
So it will be just us, and we will try to hold it down for him tonight. If you don't know, Adult Conversation is an online radio show where we get together every Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. to discuss all type of things like love, finance, money, child welfare, love, romance, situationship, lifestyle. Crazy stuff and just everything that you can think of. We just started discussing it. And that's pretty much Adult Conversation in a nutshell. Start with you, Restricted. How was your weekend?
My weekend was well. Can't remember what I did. What did I do? Oh, I just remember kickball. That's it these days. I played kickball. Well, I didn't play, but I went there to support my team. We won. We are now 4-0. That is train wreck in Coon-Bay's League. We are 4-0. That's right, 4-0.
What'd you do the other previous
Winners.
weekend?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. What did I do? What did I do, Candy?
I don't know.
Okay, we're the most boringest couple ever there is. Sunshine, what did you do this weekend? In the past 2 weekends, rather.
The past 2 weekends. I don't remember what I did the previous weekend either, which is bad. This weekend, I know what I did this weekend. This weekend I flew down to Texas on Friday. Whew, I had a ball. But that's why I'm so tired today, because I don't think I've had more than 4 hours sleep since last weekend and a night. So I'm losing it slowly but surely. I almost died. I almost choked to death on the way to the office eating a red pepper this morning. So
Damn.
I'm still recovering from that. But I moved too, so that was pretty huge. Shout out to everybody that helped me get relocated. It was a lot of work, and we're almost finished. What you do, Candy?
I do not remember what I did last weekend. Oh, okay. So last weekend was Easter, and on Easter.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Fort Lincoln to play kickball. My son played kickball with Goombay.
Your son played?
Yeah, he played, and then Unrestricted played, and then some of
We
the
were the only
people.
two that played?
I don't know everybody who played.
You didn't play?
I don't consider that playing. I kicked
You was
the
on
ball.
the field, right?
I stood there. I made sure they didn't.
But you kicked the ball, right?
Yeah, I kicked the
Okay,
ball.
you
I ain't
played.
gonna say I played.
You played kickball, right?
Sure.
You kicked the ball once.
I kicked it maybe 3 times.
Did you run after you kicked it?
Barely. I ain't feel like running.
Did you hip
No, I kicked the ball. I made sure They said I had a good kick, but I watched the ball roll instead of running. I don't like kickball. I like softball. I'm a softball person. So that was cool. It was nice to see my son do something. Butch Goombay actually sent me the link so that my son could sign up to play teen kickball. So I have to discuss that with him to see if he even want to play.
He enjoyed it.
So much. He might want to play if he know that there might be some girls on the team. Other than that, he ain't gonna fuck with the shit. Give
I
up skating.
understand. He can do both though.
He can't play kickball and skating at the same time. It's at the same
Oh,
time.
it's at the same. The practice is the same. I got you.
Yeah. And this past weekend, one of the most important things, I went to Sweet Spot.
Yeah.
Missed it.
So that was fun. It was a good show. It was a lot of fun. And then we went to support the honey spot. Did I say it right?
Honey pot.
The honey pot. We went to go, I'm not gonna say the name, but we went to go support them this weekend also. So it was pretty cool.
And Just Drew came out.
That's what's up.
Yeah, he came out.
Yeah, he came
He
out.
represented your other half. Or your road dog.
That makes us, that don't make us sound like a couple.
Dog?
Yeah.
I correct.
People already be getting in their feelings about that.
I already know.
And then actually, I wanted to apologize. I remembered what I did the previous weekend. I actually rode down to Deep Creek with The Incredibles, and I have never been to a nicer event, and on the East Coast. They really rolled out the red carpet. Happy late birthday now to Mark King. But all the ladies went down to the lake, and we did a nude photo down by the lake. So that was pretty hot. There was a lot of naked people walking around. You'd have liked the Candy.
You taking no pictures?
I took a ton of pictures. Now, actually, I don't know if it's still there, but if you go to the banner for Swing Culture, my ass was on there this weekend. So I don't know if it's still there. I don't know if they rotate the picture, but the picture of us, and I helped Nadine with some poses. It was lit. They did a great job. Cool. It was fancy. It was just I have a gold apple with white icing that's very special. So I can't tell you about it on air because I'm gonna be arrested. But
arrested for what?
The apple. That's a special apple.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The apple bottom apple. Okay.
Lord.
Yeah, it was a good. Both weekends were fabulous though.
All right. I did forget about Sweet Spot, but shout out to Drew, Al, Devon. We did see Heather there. We did see
Kim.
Oh, Kim came out. That's right. Kim. Yeah, I should remember Kim.
You can't remember anything else. She was off the chain. So.
Yeah.
Did y'all even think once oh, Miss Sunshine, I wish she was here?
I'll let Candy answer that for me.
Sure. I did.
I didn't say it like that.
I miss being there with
but
y'all.
I told her it's kind of funny that, you and Alicia, our regulars, weren't there, to lab it up for us. But
yeah, I need to put that date out sooner. I'll be there.
You go to their website?
No,
I ain't got that kind of time.
It says to be
announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm sure it was a great show.
Yeah.
Well, they have it every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of every 3 months, tonight we always have a topic every week. Not 3 months, but every week. And tonight's topic is holding people hostage with love. That's right, holding people hostage with love. We're going to have to get some clarification on that one. Because are you holding them hostage because you love them? Or love makes you want to hold someone hostage? We have to get into the definition about that. All right, so since Drew's not here, I'm going to fill in for Drew because Drew normally tells us the hood way of saying
so are you saying you the second most hoodest person here?
Nah, Sunshine got me.
I'm not hood at all.
No, Sunshine ain't no hood. She ain't no punk bitch.
She got me.
That don't make me hood, though.
She ain't
Sunshine
no punk bitch.
She got me. She got me. All right, but again, tonight's topic is holding people hostage with love. The urban definition for hostage is a restaurant hostess who is trapped at her podium by a dude who makes small talk while staring at her tits or trying to score. Number 2, when you hold a person or item for ransom or just for fun. Number 3, women that are picked up for purpose of sex, especially prostitute. Candy, what is the definition for hostage in the Webster Dictionary?
Okay. Hostage, a person held by one party in a conflict as a pledge pending the fulfillment of an agreement. Number 2, a person taken by force to secure the taker's demand. Number 3, one that is involuntarily controlled by an outside influence.
All right, so we're going to break down the second part of tonight's topic, which is love. Love, Urban Dictionary says, a feeling that goes beyond almost all sense of physicality. To love is to feel such a strong feeling for another that you can understand them in a way few can. Their very existence is a gift and a treasure, whether they are with you or not. The mere thought of them fills you with a deep hope for both the world and you. Candy, what is the definition for love with Webster?
An intense feeling of deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something.
All right, Sunshine, I know that was a lot to try to remember.
That was.
But, urban sometimes get deep.
Yeah, well, I mean, the main thing that stood out was that an urban hostage, number 1, I think that's a hostess. The lady that stands at the podium, not
Right.
a hostage. So whoever wrote that fucked that all up. And then number 3 women that are picked up for the purpose of sex, especially prostitutes, that's a hoe, not a hostage. So I'm not.
Hostage.
Yeah, stupid.
A hostess?
A hostage.
I'm praying for y'all.
So I mean, there's no way you could go with the urban on that. But then I'm not sure hostage, but I don't know, pending fulfillment. I guess I got to go with the Merriam-Webster tonight.
So you're going with Webster?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Webster.
Thank you, Sunshine.
I ain't got no choice, Candy. Sorry, it's all Webster tonight.
I read Webster.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went with me.
Pretty much.
As usual.
Okay.
What is new? Here on Adult Conversation each and every Tuesday here on RIP Radio Network from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sound better to me.
So normally we have Just Drew's Useless Facts. But Candy, you got anything you want to share with us in place of that?
I can read one of the warning signs. I guess that could be a fact. I don't have no facts.
All right, let's do that. Let's read some. You got some stuff you can add?
Let her start. We'll work through it.
Okay, let's go.
Warning sign number 1, the person seems like they are your friend, but the relationship is very draining on you. They conjure up situations that play off your sense of duty to the relationship. If the emotional hostage taker is afraid you are pulling away or they don't want you to do something with other friends, they will become ill, injured, or have a crisis. Lord.
Sunshine, you got anything you want to share?
Okay, I was kind of Googling just the way we had the topic listed, and then it kind of curved it a little bit to emotions, like you're an emotional hostage.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I rock with.
We can go with that. Let's go.
Okay. So they said but they talked about a lot about codependency and like emotional blackmail that the person that you're with. So like they're holding you as a hostage based on your relationship. So basically helping a person who's the codependency. The healthy steps are like be honest with yourself and your partner when they're holding you hostage. Stop negative thinking. Don't take things personally. Take breaks. Consider counseling. Rely on peer support and establish boundaries. And the last one's probably the most important because you can only be held hostage. Someone can only hold you hostage if you're allowing them to do so, which is always the way I think.
Agree.
All right. I'm going to read one rather. Hostage, if you feel isolated from your family or friends, you may be an emotional hostage. Their need for your friendship keeps you from being available to the other people in your life. Let me go another one. If you do go to a social event without them, you feel like you have to omit or alter exactly what you've done so as not to upset them. They want to know exactly what you do and with whom. If they have disapproval, you will either feel the guilt or sting of their anger.
So that makes sense because then, like this says, someone who holds you hostage emotionally will hold you accountable for their feelings.
True.
Much.
So like however they feel, it's your fault. Probably, especially if it's negative, it's your fault. They feel negative.
And speaking of feelings, I have one that says, if you let them down, they will anger and hurt. They will be angry and hurt with you. You might have done anything wrong, but they have twisted it somehow, and now you must profusely apologize. You might not be clear as why you are apologizing, but you know you have better apologize because the situation is escalating. Emotional hostage takers are masters of laying up on the guilt trips. They will increase the amount of guilt until you are apologized enough for their liking.
Well, that sounds like one thing I always say, and this happens to me way too often. You know how something happens and you don't see eye to eye on the situation because you both have a different perspective. It could be anybody. It could be your kid, friends, somebody you work with. I could care who it is. But then they do something really fucked up and then they become the victim. When you speak on it of what they did, they twist the entire situation around to seem like you were the bad person because you reacted based off of their actions. Does that make sense? And they twist that shit. So that to me, that's being kind of held emotionally, because especially if you feed into it. Because a lot of times I'll apologize versus arguing. I don't have time, and I hate to argue. It's just too lengthy.
Yeah. Sometimes when you argue with someone who's holding you emotionally hostage, it don't matter what points you make, no matter what you say, they always find a way to try to discredit what you're saying. They don't look at your point of view, and they just bring up more shit.
Right. I don't even think love always has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it might, like if you have a supervisor that's really shitty.
Oh my God.
And that you just like, you try to explain why certain things occurred. It's like they don't hear you. So you just be like, I'd be like, you know what? You right. I just don't even want to talk about that shit. You right.
Agree.
You got that.
I agree.
Because it's not worth the time you're going to put in to debate it. So just, okay, you got it. And just move on. Because I don't want to talk about it no more.
Yeah. And I think sometimes you are, let's say you get to arguing with someone and you agree that they were right and you try to deal with it and they say, okay, it's gone, they let it go, and then the next argument you have with that person,
they bring that shit,
right back up. They don't, so they never really let it go.
I mean, I think that too is along the lines of like how people, well, I always say, like you can forgive people, but you really don't forget it.
Hell no.
And then when some other bad shit happens, you just pound that shit on like you adding condiments to a sandwich.
So, being a hostage in love, do you think that only means emotionally? I mean, can you be, not emotionally, but do you feel as though it can go with family members as well too?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's what, like how we, well, Candy, I admire because of the way, I've heard her speak on her family before, and she like, don't take no shit. She be like, I don't fuck, I'm just not going to answer the phone. So she doesn't feed into that. But I mean, you still love your family. So you do shit, even though you may not want to do it, because you feel more responsible. Like you're responsible to them emotionally. Most people.
I used to be.
Right.
For years and years and years. First of all, I'm the oldest of all my mother kids. Mm-hmm. And I'm only a year older. I'm not even thinking I'm a whole year older than my brother. But he is one of the most fucked up individuals as far as taking advantage of people. Mm-hmm. Like he will do his best. He will try to take advantage of you. He will use you. He will lie to you. He will steal from you. So after a while, you become to say like, what the fuck? Like one time, so when my brother, because I call him my son, because he told me he looked at me like I'm his mother. I'm like, nigga, you only 1 year younger than me. You should not be looking at me as your mother. But when he got out of jail, so he was 28 when he got out of jail. So this is about almost 12 years ago. And I was helping him out. He couldn't stay with me because my ex-husband wasn't having that. So I put him in a hotel. I was paying for the hotel and doing things for him. And he was never grateful for it. It was always more. He wouldn't keep, I got him a job. He wouldn't keep the job. He didn't want to show up to work on time and all that other stuff. So then fast forward, I want to say about 5 years later. So he's in his 30s now. And I'm still sending him money, still helping him out as a person not in jail anymore. My sister hit me up. She said, did you give our brother money? I was like, yeah. He said he needed money to buy some medicine or something. And she was like, that nigga lying. As soon as you sent him the money, him and all his friends went out and brought him and all his friends some drugs, some ecstasy or something like that. He didn't even just buy for himself. He took the money I sent him to buy for other people. So then I'm like, after that point, when she pointed that fact out to me, I don't send him money no more. Ever. So
do you think, and I mean, I'm with you on situations like that, of course, because I've had the same thing happen to me. Do you feel that, though, they're an emotional hostage to us?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's like it's a two-way. Well, you've gotten away from it. Yeah. But it's kind of crazy that relationships like that go both ways. Because, like, you're someone at the time, he knew he could get money from.
Yeah, now I don't answer his calls. And it's always the same story. When he calls me or texts me, it's an emergency. He need money. He's about to go to jail. He need money. He got to buy medicine. 2 years ago, he told me he was given 6 months to live.
Has he ever done anything for you?
No, he doesn't do nothing. At first, when he first got out, I used to pay him to clean my car. So I'll pay him like $40 to clean my car. But I couldn't trust him to take my keys and drive it somewhere to clean it.
Right. That's a shame.
So it's just, he is the reason why I'm hesitant on helping people sometimes.
Right.
Because if you, my own brother, sit there and lie and take from me and don't really need the money. I mean, do need it, but.
So do you feel as though you're helping them out of love, or do you feel as though you're helping them out of
being a hostage?
Well, yeah, being a hostage, but because you're a family. You know, I don't know if it's a difference.
That's what I was saying.
Do you automatically love your family? I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
you don't.
Kinda.
No, you
Hell
don't.
no.
You don't automatically love your family. You automatically recognize that they're your family and you're supposed to support them, but you don't automatically love your family.
Love
you can
is
actually
earned.
hate members of your family.
Mm-hmm. I mean, me and my oldest brother, we haven't spoken since 2015. If I saw him walking down the street today, I act like I ain't even know that was him, because I don't have shit to say. I mean, he's like your brother, never done shit for me, and even when I looked out in the past, it just wasn't worth it. Like, there are no ties. And people, like, my aunt just passed. I think I told y'all. Mm-hmm. It was crazy, though, because I was sitting in the, I walked in there for 10 minutes and walked out, because I was like, I don't even know these people. Like, what am I going to sit up in here, you know, and, oh, hey, cousin, don't hear that shit. Like, just keep it.
I see you on the radio all the time. No, you got any money?
There's just no love there. There's no bond there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really strangers to me.
Yeah.
Now, when I was married, they lived close by, so they would crash my cookouts and stuff. But then even with that, like, they weren't even on the list. They just would crash it. So I get it, believe me.
Yeah, and I guess for me, like, my brother has 0 kids. 0, none. My little sister has, I want to say 6 or 7. I can't keep up. But she would not ask me for $1 unless it was like the absolute emergency. And then she'll do everything she can to pay me back. But I don't even try to take it. If I check on her, I make sure she's good, I'll send her money on my own. Because, you know, I care about her. But she would never use it to take advantage of me.
Right.
But my brother, no. And my baby sister, she.
Do you have any guilt because you don't help him anymore?
Not no more. And if it wasn't for D, he wouldn't have got the last bit of money I sent him.
I think, too, like, maturity and your age has a lot to do with it, because the younger generation seems to think because you are family, back to your question, D, that you are supposed to do things because you were born into the same family. But, like, I just had one of my brother's baby's moms hit me up, and yeah, she done sent me like 10 messages and I'm not responding. So I'm like, then she ended up sending me a message on another social. Well, first of all, I didn't even know she knew I was me. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, I could care less. But
she
then,
used
like,
facial
when
recognition.
I told her that I wasn't interested in meeting my nephew, yeah, she had a fit.
Adult conversation. Who's on the phone?
Hey, what's up? This is Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hey, how you doing? It's crazy. Y'all touched on the topic that I had put on the Candy post.
Yes,
So,
thank you, Kenneth.
I definitely wanted to call in, and I wanted to give y'all a different perspective on the being held hostage part, right? So, you know, when you're in relationships and, you know, you start new relationships a year or 6 months in, right, it comes down to the point where somebody has to say, I love you first. And then what happens is the other person feel like they need to say it back, even though it's not true. And it's kind of like you get nervous and you get scared, because it's like, if I don't say it back, then they're going to feel I don't feel the same way they feel, and it's going to be awkward. But it's nothing wrong with me being in a relationship with you and you fall in love with me quickly and not fall in love with you. There's nothing wrong with that. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
Or sometime when people be in relationships that's bad and they telling you about it, and you like, well, girl, if he did that, or if he do this, why don't you just leave him? And they be like, 'cause I love him. Like, you can't, before anything, you gotta be loyal to yourself, and then everybody else. You can't let love keep you hostage in situations, even with family or in relationships.
So if you're with a woman and she falls in love with you first and she tells you that she loves you, what's your response?
See, that's the crazy part. So you just sitting there like, what do I say now?
You say thank
right?
you.
You absolutely say thank you, but now you still gotta have a conversation on why you didn't say it back.
But it's still easier, especially as a man. Like, you don't want to be leading. I mean, I don't know the type of women you date, but the last thing you want to do is say it back and you don't mean it, because of course along with that comes expectations once you put it out there. So it's easier to say thank you, and then say, I really care about you too, but you don't necessarily have to say the L word, because once you drop that, then shit done changed.
Yeah, that opened up a whole new.
That's a whole new.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the part that makes you hostage now.
I mean,
now you done made yourself hostage.
But that's because you lied, though.
It makes you a hostage to a certain extent, because I mean, just because you say it don't mean you have to follow through. I mean, that's just like everything in life. You can say you're gonna do something and don't follow and do the same thing. But I think you said it.
I also think it's different when sometimes, like I think when females say "I love you," they're telling you that they're in love with you. And when men say "I love you," it's just like, "I love you. I care for you. I don't want to see nothing happen to you."
Okay, I can agree with you on that.
I have to disagree.
I have to disagree as well.
I mean, so women tell guys the same thing, like "I love you," meaning like I don't wish you get hit by a car,
No, I have love for all my males. I don't even know what to say right there. I have love for them, but that doesn't mean I'm in love with them. Like relationship and love.
No. So I think he said that. He said it's the difference between in love.
But the thing about it is, Candy and Sunshine, you gotta take yourself out of the equation, because y'all not average. Y'all not the average woman.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying in general, when a female tells a male she loves him, she can love him, but he can dump her, and 2 months later, she could be telling another male that she loves him. So just because she says she loves you doesn't really mean she loves you. She just loves you because she's with you at that moment most of the time. That doesn't always mean that she's in love with you. She may think she's in love with you, but she may not be. Now, if a male, especially if he say it first, if a male say "I love you," he really truly means it most of the time. Males don't just go around dishing out "I love yous."
It depends. You got your own place?
No.
You got your own car?
No.
You got a good job?
No.
I love you.
I think though it's a matter of who it is. Though, like there's so many factors: age, background.
I agree.
Because what you stated that women and men do it differently, which is true, but it depends on. Well, first of all, people tend to rock with people that are like them. So like your crew is gonna think like you, but then if you go and hang around some folks 10 years younger or 10 years older, they may see that whole scenario, totally different. I use the word love a lot, and I love everybody. Like, when I don't just say that shit, but I'm not in love with anybody. I'm not in love meaning I want to get married and move to another country or something.
Because technically, aren't we all supposed to have love for each other?
You should in your heart.
Yeah. So.
That's what makes us great.
Yeah.
But it's a good it's a good topic. Like
we were lost. I was lost. I'm not gonna lie. I was lost.
This is actually one of the things that Drew has brought up several times.
Yeah.
So that's why when he could have put it, I said I just went ahead and rock with it, thinking that Drew would be here. But he's always talking about holding someone emotionally hostage. Yeah. In relationships.
I mean, he just fucking experienced it, obviously.
For real?
So, I'm not putting his business out there, but I mean,
I don't think
because me and Drew be moving so much, like people often misunderstand their level, like their level in someone's life. Like, you have high hopes and high expectations, but you might not be where you think you are with someone. Yeah. So you should clarify shit like that. Like, you think it's somebody head over heels in love with you, and they don't even fuck with you like that.
And if you don't know, then you need to ask and find out.
Exactly. Yeah. You shouldn't lie, though, and say you 100%. Love somebody and you don't.
But just because I say I love you doesn't mean I don't love you.
True.
It just means I might not be in love with you. I think they need to, when people tell people they love them, they need to start changing that language up and saying, "Hey, Sunshine, I'm in love with you." Now, when someone says that, then
that's different.
They're stating that they're in love with you.
Don't fall in love with me.
Yeah.
Shit.
Now, Sunshine, I have love for you. Sunshine, you are so beautiful. I have so much love for you. That's not the same conversation.
It's really not. It's really not. And plus, I like to have friends, so I love all my friends. But it's a different kind of love. But please don't lie. And like to all the fellas, like don't say it if you don't mean it, because you just
But
open up a can of shit.
He can actually love her and not be in love with her.
But you could say, I definitely have love. Matter of fact, if she says I love you,
You say that.
You
that's
say
even
that.
worse.
I'm serious.
You are getting
If
no
she-
more pussy
but it's
ever.
the
Exactly.
truth. Well, you gonna lie to get the pussy?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not
yes,
necessarily
they will.
lying. You're just pretty much saying.
No, you're lying to get the pussy.
Okay,
is what you
so
just
we
said.
we
Keep
just
the pussy.
Or to stay in her place or drive her car.
no, we just all agreed that
Yeah,
you're
man.
supposed to
It's
have
just-
love for everybody. We agreed on that,
It's
right?
a difference. But if she says okay, if y'all been let's do a scenario and y'all say
Let's
your
go.
opinion.
Go ahead.
You been rocking with her. Let's say it's been 7 months. Y'all been hanging out. You do family shit together. Both of y'all got kids. The kids fuck around with each other. I mean,
Like
meaning-
sex?
Girl, no, like you take them to the park together or
Oh, okay.
movies and stuff
Okay.
like that. Obviously I don't have little kids. I talk real bad, but y'all really kicking it, and then all of a sudden you all decide that you're going on a weekend trip somewhere, and it's just the two of you, none of the stresses of life. And then she's like, I want to talk to you about something at dinner. And y'all done already fucked because you did that as soon as you got out of town. And then you get to dinner and you're sitting there. It's a nice space. And she's like, honey, I want to tell you, like, I really love you. Like, what's your move?
I'd be like,
love
are
you
you?
too.
Just you just laugh.
Yeah.
But like, are you in love
But do
with
you
me,
love
or
her?
do you have love for me?
That's a different. Now, if she asks, "Are you in love with me, or do you have love with me?" Then that's a whole different scenario. Then
She literally,
that's
no,
kinda
she
tricky.
decided she was going to go first and put it out there to make life easy on you.
Right, but if she says,
That don't make life easier. That's
I'm in
shit.
love with you," are you in love with me, or do you love me?
Oh, but see, you giving too much. So she just says, I'm in love with you. I just wanted you to know that I'm in love with you.
In love with you is different. You said I love
Okay,
you.
so then what's the move?
You
Well,
tell me you in love with me? It just
we've-
depends.
We've just said the way to say it.
Okay.
But typically, the person's not going to say,
I know,
hey, I'm in love
true.
with you.
So if he says he in love with me, right? And I know he got some bomb dick.
You love him too?
I'm in love with you too. I'm not giving up that dick.
And I think it always we say it on a sober mind and on a platform, but once you're in that mode, you might got 2 or 3 rounds in. You might have been drinking. If you
When
smoke,
somebody
you might
tells
have
me
been
they
smoking.
love me, though, depending on who it is, I always do, like, I love you too. Like, my friends say, I love you all the time.
You don't want to lose the person.
I do
You don't
love
want to
them,
lose the
though.
person.
Right. I mean, I don't think because you love someone don't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing.
I think it is a good. Well, I guess it's a good thing if the lines of your relationship are already defined, or the status of your
True.
relationship.
True.
Like, are
definitely
you are you seeing each other exclusively?
Yeah.
Is that the idea? Because
fall
now,
in
if you
love.
right
Okay.
now, if you saying you love somebody and you only seeing that one person, you know damn good and well they think y'all. The next thing comes the wedding ring, or engagement ring. Is that what it's called? Yeah, that
Yeah.
too. What you think, honey?
What you think, Kenneth?
What you think?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why we said, because we don't want to lose the person. Like you know what I'm saying? So we said back. If you don't say it makes now the whole trip is awkward.
So are you committed to this person, or you're saying more than one person?
Oh no, this not me now. Now
No, I'm
a
not
guy
saying
who
right
been married
now.
for
I'm not
9
putting
He's
you
years.
a
out
better
there.
individual now.
No, I'm not. I'm not putting
Better
you out
person
there.
now.
No, I'm just. Would you see it different though if you were seeing that person exclusively versus you weren't seeing this person exclusively? You all were just hanging out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I would say, but we still would have to have a conversation about it. Cause I just don't want to make it awkward at the time.
So you're gonna talk about it later. And you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, that day when I said I love you, I was just fucking with you. I was just
Hey,
kidding.
Kenneth, before we
Just
go,
don't do like me.
But I care about you though. I care about you though.
Yeah, it's
I care
followed
for
up
you.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
hey Kenneth, we gotta take a music break, but we do appreciate you calling in and also giving us the topic to go on.
Yes, we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Continue to keep
Appreciate y'all.
listening,
Y'all know I
man.
love the show.
Thank
I'll see
you,
y'all
baby.
Chevys later.
Did you
All
say
right.
love? Are you in love with the show, or do you love the show, Kenneth? We need to know.
I love you, baby.
I love the show.
Thank you.
All right,
baby.
thanks,
Thank
Kenneth.
you. Bye bye.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick music break. While we go on this music break, We don't have Judas sing the songs for Sunshine. You got to sing the song.
My voice is all fucked up, but go ahead.
What they need to do while we go on this break?
All right, get the app, get the app, get the app, app, get the app, get the app, get the app, app, get the app, get the app, get the app, app, get the motherfucking app.
All right, we'll be back with a dope conversation. Get ready to call in 301-232-5700. If you're just tuning in, tonight's topic is holding people hostage with love. We'll be right back here on RipRadioNetwork.com.
So sweet, you give me cavities. Sweet. I don't know why you do this to me. Sugar crush. I can't help the fact that you're so sweet. Divine. And now I have a taste for your cherries. You're my candy crush. Tasty. You're my candy crush. You're my candy crush. You're my candy crush. Can't stop crushing till I make you pop. And you're so addictive, I cannot stop. We've been at it for hours, it eats up my time. And it just excites me to know that you're mine. You're my candy crush, you're my candy crush. Ooh, can I crush it? You're my candy crush. I can't believe how good you taste to me. You're so good. You're so good. You're so good. I know I keep on coming back just to know if I can eat the pack. And when you do it, girl, you make it so hard. I have to take you to my favorite spot. You're my candy crush. Ooh, you know I eat it. You're the sweetest piece of candy to me. I want that living. Girl, I just wanna crush it. You're the one I'm loving, and nothing else can cut it. Girl, you're the sweetest thing that I have ever tasted. You're full of so much flavor. Can't stop crushing till I make you pop. And you're so addictive, I cannot stop. We've been at it for hours, it eats up my time. And it just excites me to know that you're mine. Ooh, I wanna taste ya. Can't wait to eat it. Something sweet on my tongue, got to have you every day. Oh my, oh my. Just one look at you, my sugar starts to rise. Let me crack you open like a pinata. Let your sweetness fall on out. Can't wait to taste your starburst. Can't wait another hour. So sweet to me. So sweet to me. to show you what's up. Pull up. So baby, just pull up. Just pull up. Just pull up. Pull up. Climbing on top of me. Feeling on my body. You know that drives me crazy. Exploring all my fantasies. Love the way you loving me. Don't stop, baby, just go deep. Keep going. You can leave them hickeys, you know. Only ones that you can see. Yeah. Don't you know we'll be all night? Know that I have been stressing, but you can make me feel alright. All that shit you've been talking. Pull up. I've been waiting all week for your love. Pull up. You're my favorite judge. Pull up. Can't wait to show you what's up. Pull up. So baby, just pull up. Just pull up. Just pull up. Pull up.
I hear you talking like a big girl. Can you take it like a big girl? I mean, my ego kinda big, girl. Can you take that type of risk, girl? I've been known to flip a few worlds upside down, especially when I flip you upside down. How you think about having one child now? How you stuck in the same position for a half an hour, talking shit like I hate you, but we both know that means you loved it and you just can't wait for take two. Need a sec, baby, take two. Honestly, I need a break too. Have a glass of this cognac, might as well light up the J2. Uh-oh, you in trouble. Guess who just got the second win? First round, I dominated. Now I'm about to come get the second win. Fight it all you want, girl, but I guarantee you tap out. I'll pull up anytime you want me to come through and blow your back out.
Pull up. I've been waiting all week for your love. Pull up. You're my favorite judge. Pull up. Can't wait to show you what's up. Pull up. So baby, just pull up. Just pull up. Just pull up. Pull up.
All right, I hope y'all pulled up that app while we was on this commercial break. If you don't know, the app is Adult Conversation on Google Play and also iTunes. I don't know about anything else. Is there any other phone service out there?
It's only Apple.
Only Apple?
Team Apple.
Team
All right.
Apple.
I'm
Everybody
Team
at
Apple
this table
too.
got Apple.
But I got to represent Drew because Drew ain't here. Android.
That's because his clock didn't work.
The little green guy. All right, so if you just tuning in, tonight's topic is holding people hostage with love. Have you ever been held hostage by somebody that loves you or claim they love you? Or have you been the hostage taker and held somebody by the love that you have for them? We want to hear from you. 301-232-5700. Once again, that number 301-232-5700. And tonight we had Sunshine Aces and Candy and myself, Unrestricted D. And we're missing Drew.
Exactly. The hostage taker.
Oh, dang.
Is he a hostage taker?
Hey.
He
Poor
ain't here to
Drew.
defend himself. So.
I actually
Poor little
think,
Drew.
based on what I know about him, I would be more so people hold him hostage.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's kind of like us. You know, people be relying on him for shit, and he just rock it.
No, I'm talking about dating wise.
Dating wise, I'd say dating wise too.
Yeah. I want to give it from Drew's perspective. Drew's perspective, and I can't say if I'm quoting it right. His idea of being held hostage emotionally during relationships is, you know, you don't want nothing with somebody, but you keep trying or you keep being with them. So let's say I'm dating you, Sunshine. I know that you love me, but I'm never going to love you. I'm using you for the sex, the food that you're providing for me, and I'm continue to date you until I find someone better.
I mean, I used to do that when I was younger, but I don't really do that no more.
I thought you
Not
was married
food.
since
I
you
didn't
was
want
12.
no food. Been what?
Married since you was 12.
No. Damn.
You want to marry my daughter?
Started young. Wow.
Your father came out with the shotgun and everything.
I want 2 cows and a chicken.
4 acres and a mule.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's what you just got, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Is it? No, it's 40 acres. Did you get your 40 acres?
I got my 40 acres and a mule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you good then?
Yeah.
That's why bitch tired. Shoot.
Aww.
You on side note, you definitely know who your friends are when you're moving, though. Jesus Christ.
I agree.
I can tell you I
would've
didn't
helped you,
volunteer.
I wouldn't
You're not
expect
a
people to
friend.
volunteer.
I am
But
a
the
friend.
funny thing is, at least with me, I didn't expect people to help me move for free. I paid people.
Yeah.
Like, and
I
paid
understand.
Well.
We just
well,
moved
as well
6
as I
months
could
ago.
anyway.
And you know, the only people who moved me and Dwayne was Dwayne, me, and my son. We moved that whole house and his apartment all into that house together. That's it. No one else. came
That
to
is
help.
true. Once I stopped thinking about that.
Yeah. And David, my
Did
nephew. David helped one day. Not the whole time, but like one of the times he helped.
Oh, he did. He did.
We got another phone call.
Oh, it's ringing.
Hey.
Hey.
Adult conversation.
Hi, this is Sky.
Hi, Sky.
How you guys doing?
I'm
Good, how are
doing
you?
good. Don't be
I caught like a tail
Is
part
this-
of your conversation when you were talking about some of the bullet points as far as what y'all would consider, being held hostage. Could you run those by me again, like the last 2 or 3, because those were interesting.
Do you know who said it, honey? Because we all gave up.
I think it was Candy.
Oh, I don't think
Y'all were talking about.
Go ahead.
This was like before the break. Y'all were talking about some of the reasons or some of the ways you could be held hostage in a relationship. When you're talking about love or whatever. It was a few things you guys mentioned.
I think
I guess let me just jump to the point. My question is how some of those things I guess they kind of happen naturally when you're not talking about being in a relationship with somebody. If you're talking about family or something like that, some of those things kind of happen naturally. So my question is, at what line do you draw between accountability and what becomes like I guess an abusive trait, which you would call emotional blackmail? Like if you hold somebody accountable, if you hold somebody you're in a relationship accountable, like you agree to not do certain things, and then they go and do that anyway. At what point does it go from I guess accountability to abuse, if that makes sense?
To me, it will go to, this is Sunshine, it will go to accountability to abuse immediately, because if you already had guidelines and you already discussed what the roles in the relationship were and what the expectations were and just what the level of the relationship you have is. You can't just all of a sudden decide, and I'm speaking on it because it happens to me all the time. When I meet people, I tell them up front who I am and how I move and what I do. And then somewhere along the lines, they create their own relationship, like as if we never discussed these things, or as if something changed. So, and it's funny because actually Candy and Dwayne told me before that I treat everybody I rock with like they're my man.
Yes,
but
you
it's
do.
not about them treating them like my man. It's about treating them kind and respect, because that's what I'm all about. But just because I treat you in such a way doesn't mean you can change the things that we already have established. So if you're doing things that we've already discussed, that's not what I'm into, or that's not what I'm interested in, or I don't want a committed relationship, you can't all of a sudden decide that you want something different I never agreed to give you. Am I touching on what you're thinking of?
I mean, it's a perspective. I guess I would have to think of a better example, I guess, to drive the question home, because I don't think there's like a simple like solution for this for every type of relationship, obviously. But as far as specific, if there's communication at the beginning, yeah, that's clear. But I don't know. I mean, I guess as you get older, maybe you want to communicate more, but I know when I was younger, a lot of the things that I could have avoided if I just had those conversations earlier. So,
are you honest?
I'm sorry?
Are you honest?
I'm always honest.
Yeah, because I think a big problem too is that just like when we were touching on, if someone tells you they love you and they mean they're in love with you, and you respond the same, then that gives them expectations. And if you're lying, then you're not really being true to the situation. So of course they're gonna go off and assume certain things that you might not have necessarily agreed with. But I mean, we've been saying for everything we talk about, it's always about communication and trust and honesty to get the point on. What were you gonna say, Candy?
I lost it that quick. What was the statement before that?
You want me to remember?
What was it, Sky? What was the statement before that?
A statement regarding. I'm confused now.
Okay, it's okay. I lost it.
What was it? The bullet points?
Oh, don't come for me. What'd you say?
He was talking about the bullet points. Did you find what you stated that made him think of what he was thinking about? I didn't have a bullet
point because I didn't write it down. I just read the warning signs, but I was first. I think earlier we was discussing pretty much about saying I love you and the whole I love you speech. But I do believe that if someone tells you I love you, I don't know. I don't know. Do you have to figure out what type of love I love you they mean? Or do you automatically assume that they're saying I am in love with you?
Until somebody tells me they are in love with me, that's all I take it for, when they are in love with me. If you say you love me, I just take it for words. I mean, me personally, I think everything goes with actions. You can say you love me all day, but if you don't show me that you're in love with me or that you have love for me or whatever the case may be, it just is what it is.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah. Like, you really have to show... I mean, you know, to a certain extent, I fucks with you.
Like, I know who loves me by who helped me move.
Right, you got to show me who fucks with me. Like, it depends on, you know, I could say, oh, y'all my girls. But then I don't acknowledge y'all Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Monday, and here come Tuesday again, y'all my girls. No, I'm not fucking with y'all. I just tolerate y'all. My actions have to kind of prove that
you really feel that way.
Are you tolerating us?
So you mentioned emotional blackmail, so I'm gonna read the information I had on that and see if that helps you with the clarity for what you wanted us to touch on. So earlier I had said, what does it mean to hold someone emotionally hostage? Someone who holds you hostage emotionally will hold you accountable for their feelings. They may be feeling anxious about the relationship, but instead of facing those fears head on, they force you to carry them. Being an emotional hostage can and will take its toll on a person.
I agree.
So then they went on to say that there also can be emotional blackmail in the relationship, which goes along with being an emotional hostage. It's the process in which an individual makes demands and threats to manipulate another person to get what they want. Emotional blackmail can create a fog and contribute to feelings of fear, obligation, guilt, and anxiety. According to the article where this little blurb came from, it usually occurs in close relationships. But then they also went on to say that emotional blackmail and fog are terms that were popularized by the psychotherapists who created them, and it's about controlling people in relationships and the theory that the fear and the obligation are transactional dynamics that play between the controller and the person that's being controlled. So basically, they're imposing their feelings on you, and it's a method of control.
I agree.
It's like emotional BDSM.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
However, with emotional BDSM, though, unless the person is willing to receive what they're being given, then that's abuse. Because even with that, there has to be some guidelines of what's acceptable and what's not.
So, Scott, let me ask you a question. Right. Have you ever been a hostage by love or took anyone hostage?
Honestly, I could say I wouldn't say I've been a hostage or that I've been the hostage taker, but I've kind of been on both sides to some degree. Mm-hmm. And in my personal experience, the latter part where it seemed like I was more the hostage taker, it wasn't even emotional. It was more like accountability. So you say you're going to be here at a certain time, or you say you're not going to do this, and you're doing this anyway. And it's more like me calling out double standards.
So you pretty much hold people for their word. If you say you're going to do something.
I mean, if you communicate something to me and we talk about it, and I talk about this, how I feel and what I expect. If if I go over this stuff and you say you get it, and then you go and do the opposite of exactly what we were going to talk about, and then you get mad at me for being mad, and then try to call me, I'm controlling or I'm abusive, that kind of irks me, because it's like, well, if the shoe were on the other foot, you would do the same thing. And that, I guess that's one of the main things I wanted to touch on. I guess it's more like, so if you're in a relationship, is it you're not supposed to hold people accountable without it becoming abusive to some degree? Because it seems like the longer you are together with somebody, especially if you talk about marriage and moving in and having kids and all that stuff, the more you're going to rely on that person to do other things. So doesn't it kind of go into that territory anyway? I guess that's what I was trying to get at.
So is the relying on that other person because of your level of commitment, is that based on them wanting to do these things, or you assuming that they want to do these things?
Well, look, just a dry example. Let's just say me and some lady, we decide to get married, moving together, have kids. Say we've been together like 5 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in my eyes, it seems like you would typically build more trust with that person, so long as the trust isn't getting broken down. But in a way, I guess what you rely on each other for is kind of important. So if somebody is going to get mad that you didn't show up to pick up the kids or something like, that's not really emotional blackmail as far as I see it. But some people would jump to that as an excuse and say, oh, you're being manipulative or you're being controlling, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I guess that's what I was trying to get at, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. When you're in a committed relationship, though, especially if you're married with kids and you're in the same home, there's always expectations and things that you should be able to consider that the person you're married to is going to take care of. But I just don't. I think the problem goes back to perspective and what people are used to doing. And then also, I think age is a huge factor, because there's a lot of things that I would do now that I wouldn't have done 20 years ago. Like I've changed, and the level of life that I'm in is a lot different. So whereas back when I was trying to get my degree and raise my children and married, shit was a lot different than now, when the only person that I really have to be worried about is me. So coming home to my husband and him expecting dinner every night, although it was an expectation, it was an expectation I hated, because he got home 3 hours before me. So it was really difficult to get home later and still have those same expectations. Now, what would have worked for me, and we might have still been married, was he cooked dinner every once in a while. But clearly his thought process was I was the woman, so I should cook. You see what I'm saying?
I like him. Right.
I'm a punch D for talking about he like him. But I think the key, to whatever you're doing in any relationship, I don't care, family, and even with the emotional piece, is to don't expect things from people that you haven't discussed it with. Like, it's so easy for things that irritate you or your mate is not doing or your significant other to tell them. Like, people always do it in the heat. Like, you're beefing, and then you want to cuss them up one way and down another, versus saying it in a calm time. Like, you're just home chilling, watching TV, and he'd be like, oh, I really wish that you would work on getting that bathroom painted we talked about 6 months ago. Instead of you.
But then they still call it nagging.
And he'd be like, you MF, you never painted the bathroom, and I've been asking you for 6 months.
Some people can't take being asked anything. It's nagging, automatically nagging them. So it's like, oh, you told me that 6 months ago. Why do you keep reminding me?
Because you didn't do the shit.
Yeah. And then when you hire someone else or you do it yourself, oh, you so independent. You can't take help from nobody.
Yeah, I get it. So, remember we had that round table and they were talking about putting the stickies all over the house?
I know. That's
And I was
smart.
like, if I came home and stickies was all over, you liked it, I hated it. Could you imagine coming home and the person that put stickies all over the house on stuff you were supposed to do that you didn't do?
Yeah.
I'd be furious.
I will put a sticky on my. No.
I'm about to put a sticky on the grass. Every blade.
Well, you brought up some really great points.
Yeah.
And you definitely, and I'm tired, and you definitely got my mind rolling to think of the different perspectives.
And I'm gonna say this: when you discussing, telling people the stuff that they did wrong, I'm gonna say be careful with that, because a lot of people has a habit of pointing out everything that somebody does wrong. So if you're going to dish out as much as you telling that person you're dating that they're doing wrong, make sure you equally dish it out what they're doing right.
That's true. That's a good point.
Right.
So
definitely.
Cousin-in-law, tell them what the fuck they're doing wrong.
What's going on?
Candy
tell them what they're doing wrong.
He's trying to be funny. Candy made that's a really valid point.
She coming for me on air.
I am?
She coming for me. She coming for me, Sky.
I hear you.
I mean, when you're building a relationship, it should be, you got to take the bad with the good, because obviously the good is outweighing the bad, or you shouldn't be with the person anyway. So, yeah, that was a good question.
I think this is the last thing I'll say. I think the thing that gets me is for me, I have this thing where people constantly look at me as intelligent by default, right? Even when I don't want to look that way. So what ends up happening is if I request to do something, or if I say, hey, let's do something, on this, type time, a lot of people typically think I'm trying to get over on them somehow. And this happens with loved ones. It's not that I have a history of getting over on people. It's like a constant battle of wits or something like that. So I can only speak to my past experiences, but in my past relationships where it's been it's not that I'm quick to call people out. I hate calling people out, because a lot of people can't take criticism, let alone, helpful criticism. So what ends up happening is I'm the one that's getting bitched at, and then it's okay, I've had enough of this, and I'm seeing all this other stuff you're getting away with. Let me call you out. And then it's they flip the script, and then it's now I'm the bad guy for even saying anything, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
I definitely got what y'all saying. It's just my experience was kind of different. That's all.
Yeah, and
it was kind of a back and forth. It's I'm being accused of something, and it's not really me. It's really them, and I'm not sure if they know they're doing it, or if they know they're doing it and they just hope I don't catch on.
I think that's back to what I said in the beginning, playing the victim. They do something fucked up, and then when you speak on it, all of a sudden you're the bad person. That to me is back to that. And you're reacting off of their actions.
Yeah, and then be careful those people who can't even apologize. When you telling someone or you express to them about something, and they can't even apologize or see your point of view. Be careful of those people too. But I'm gonna have to agree with you, because on the part of not say highly intelligent, but when you are smart or know stuff, when you don't know something and you try to ask for help, people treat you like you're a fucking idiot, or try to treat you like, well, you're supposed to know this, or they don't want to help you. That's that is one of the worst things.
Thank you. Now to the latest question.
Okay, that must be an Android.
Scott, you on your Skype?
Yeah.
That's your Google phone?
That's all.
That's that up top New York type of phone system.
You dialing into the...
That's my bad. Somebody picked up the phone.
Oh.
Scott, get off the phone!
No. Tell Grandma I said hi.
I got you.
Get off when I'm ready.
So before you go, I'm going to share some more information with y'all. I'm getting tired of talking though. So that says this is a scenario of being in an emotional blackmail situation, which is a little different from what you experienced, but it points on what you said earlier. You're on the phone with a friend. They've made you angry, and in your fight, you told them you just want to be left alone for a bit. You say they aren't allowed to come to your house and until further notice, and that's when all hell breaks loose. They tell you that if you don't let them come over, they'll drive their car over a cliff. This makes you panic. You don't want to be the reason they do something like that, so you agree to allow them to come over right then. While this might seem like a far-fetched scenario, it is in fact an example of an emotional hostage situation. So, And that kind of sums
I
up.
had
It's lame,
something like
but
that
that kind of
happen
sums up
before,
what we were talking about.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
This book I just finished reading, the husband, so the wife told him that she was going to leave him, but so he took a whole bunch of sleeping pills. But he's a doctor or whatever, so he took just enough sleeping pills to pass out, but not die.
Yeah.
So it's like he's calling out and trying to prove a point.
Right.
Like he's really holding her hostage in the whole relationship.
Yeah, and that's why I said it was far fetched, but it's perfect sense. I mean, it just might happen to us a little different.
I'm not cold blooded, but if I truly not in love with you, and I feel as though that you're trying to do some shady shit like that to me, then I'll be going to your funeral.
Well, I'm not the one, because I mean, I've had friends threaten me before that they was going to do things. I'm like, you want me to help you? Like, I don't even know what you. Yeah, don't threaten me with your craziness. Like, I need you to go get some help.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm going to call a psychiatrist for you. I mean, I know people do need help.
All right, Scott, we appreciate you calling, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for calling. I want to say that I'm going to say that we all have held someone emotionally hostage at some point in time in our lives. Because if you think about it, in a relationship, when your mate do something wrong, you want to make them feel that reason of what they did wrong, right? So now you are making them apologize or make you feel better, which is holding them hostage, correct? Yes or no?
No.
I don't think
for me, I don't think the person has to apologize. I just think the person has to acknowledge.
Well, apology was
I think if I have an issue with something and I bring it up, I think the person should at least acknowledge where I'm coming from with the issue.
Okay, so if I don't acknowledge the issue that you have, then what?
Then it pretty much shows me that you don't care enough to hear my point of view.
And you don't try to rebuttal any type of shape or form?
What you mean?
You don't try to make me feel like, oh, you don't listen to me or you don't care how I feel or anything like that?
I mean, if I told you a situation and I say I feel a certain way and you're like, get out of here, you tripping, that's stupid. I mean, of course it's going to make me feel as though, or make the person feel as though, what the fuck you mean I'm tripping? I'm telling you how I feel.
Okay.
You don't have to agree with a person does not have to agree with how I feel. They just have to acknowledge that I feel a certain way.
So, I got that part. But when I don't acknowledge that or I don't feel some type of way, then what?
Then we don't need to keep this discussion going. Let's just dead the whole discussion.
So when I did the whole discussion, that's it? You'll never bring it back up?
I'm not going to say no. It probably is going to come back up.
So isn't that still...
Because it was never resolved.
So isn't that still holding someone hostage? Because you won't let it go. You get what I'm saying now?
I mean, I guess you could be still holding a person hostage.
Sunshine, you ever feel like you held somebody hostage?
I don't really feel like I hold people hostage because I don't. I mean, for the most part, I don't know. Maybe when I was much younger, I couldn't even think of how then though, because I've always like kind of did my own thing. I really didn't like rely on people from an emotional standpoint. Mm-hmm. So and especially now as an adult, because like people are so easily replaceable. I mean, that's bad, but like.
I mean, it's definitely true.
People come and go out of my life so often. I don't even really. Yeah, I just don't put that much into people to control me, my emotions. You know, I can't. I'm too busy. You know what I'm saying? I got so much shit to do.
We know.
Don't do that.
Kiss me.
I mean, it's sad, but I've always been like that. I got so many friends, and it's so much I could be focused on. So, okay, I don't like to wallow in low places, if that makes sense. Like when something's happened that I can't, I need time because I want to go back and regroup and think about how shit occurred. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I do come up with I probably could have handled it differently, you know? Like, I'm never going to live down that day I told you kiss my ass.
No. Well, I ain't going to let you either. I'm going to hold you hostage
I'm never
with
gonna live that down.
I'm going to hold you hostage
Even
with that.
and you're holding me hostage with that.
Yes.
I've apologized like 50 times. But again, it's typically, when I've said this to y'all many, many times, sometimes it's not the person that your limit, you've hit your limit with that person. It's typically when people that live busy lives like we do, the people closest to you take the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't even always have time and go back and deal with the person who really pissed you off. Because you're around other people so much, you're moving forward real fast.
And then you also
and then
expect
one
something
thing
different from
happens
them.
and you don't have no more patience left.
Right.
It's not, you didn't wear my patience down. Someone else wore it down. But it could be work all day. You could have just went to work and had a shitty day. So you don't have no more patience so to me, part of a relationship has to be understanding. And if you're really in a committed, if you're in a committed relationship, you need to also be like, one of my things I ask for is like understanding and respect. Like, I need people to understand, like, we're good. Like, I got you like you got me. However, you have to be understanding of my schedule, my time, my commitments. Like, we don't miss the show. Like, this is what the fuck we do. So you can't say, oh, what are you doing Tuesday at 6? And I'm like, I'm not doing you. Like, first of all, I'm mad you even asked me because I feel like if you support me, you know where I'm at every Tuesday. Am I on the right path?
I agree.
So I'm sorry, I know that was a whole long-winded answer, but it felt good to say it. Because even I've been kind of mean today to people unintentionally, but like, you want information from me and I can't give it to you right now. You got to give me time. Everything people ask me, I'm going to get to you, but you got to be patient. I can't, it's Tuesday, it's my busiest day of the week. I can't just stop everything I'm doing and cater to what everybody else wants from me.
Yes.
Like, but I got you. Like, I got you tomorrow. Because I'm tired.
You got something, Kane?
Sorry, Candy.
Charlie said, actually, the person not understanding the person's feelings is holding them hostage. You are forcing them to keep an issue unresolved and more than likely repeat it because that you won't hear that it bothers them.
Right. That's true.
I didn't think about that either.
That's true. Because they're probably so caught up in their own thoughts of how they feel. Like you said, they don't even take into consideration what you might be feeling.
So, Charlie, I need you to call in 301-232-5700. Once again, Charlie, I need you to call in 301-232-5700. I'm also going to text you the number because I want to call and debate with you on this one.
And then while we're waiting for her to call, the next thing they went into was parent and child relationship. And I don't know if y'all heard me when I said fog. But I should have been more clear that is emotional blackmail, and it's fear, obligation, and guilt. So they're designated it as fog. But it's almost like when your child throws a temper tantrum in the store, and you're going to give them what they want for fear of them embarrassing you, and then you feel obligated because you're the parent, and then you feel guilty because that's your baby, and you got to give them what they want.
Ass.
Well, I didn't say I wrote this.
Your other half did.
My other half wrote this. But it still relates to that same situation, whether it's a child. Because basically, if your mate is throwing a temper tantrum, I mean, adults do
I've
throw
done that.
Temper tantrum. I know you do.
Yeah.
I've seen you
I
in
will
action.
break shit.
Well, I ain't saying you break shit, but I have
She will.
seen you throw
I will fuck shit
a
up.
temper tantrum. And I'll be like, what
Anyone see a coffee table for sale, let me know.
Man. So I was looking up at some of the stuff, and one of the things I saw is that they called it codependency. When you attach yourself to someone with who's holding you emotionally hostage, and they had some characteristics that a person who is usually held hostage. And the first one was low self-esteem. I think that's pretty clear. It says if you feel unlovable or not good enough, you are in danger of becoming intertwined in a codependent situation.
Wow.
Yeah. Denial of your core self, your own needs, and your own desires. Fear. So if you are very vulnerable to fear of being alone, rejected, or abandoned. Craving for affection and acceptance. We all want to be loved. Lack of assertiveness. A codependent often, not always, has a very hard time making a decision. And lack of trust. A codependent person often comes across as very controlling. That I didn't understand that one.
I don't.
Yeah, that's the only one I didn't understand. If I'm dependent on you and I'm controlling you.
Well, I can understand because you don't trust the person. So it's lack of trust.
So
if I'm depending on you, and I see you being sunshine, just friendly, I have a lack of trust of you, because I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'm depending on you to give me your attention.
So okay, I understand. I got you. That makes sense.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It just, to me, as a codependent, if I'm dependent on you for my happiness, I'm gonna trust you more because I'm gonna be blind to what you're doing.
But you can say blind, because remember that the whole emotional dependency thing is it's first of all it's a manipulation.
No,
so
I'm the dependent.
You're the dependent.
Yes.
You're the person being dependent on.
I'm the one being manipulated.
Okay, you're the one being manipulated. Okay.
So if you can manipulate me, I'm gonna feel as though I can trust you more. Because
I felt like what you read though meant it the other way around.
It is the other way.
No, this one is the people who are being the codependent. So low self-esteem, denial, fear, craving for affection, lack of assertiveness, and lack of trust. So
you're saying I have all these issues if I'm into you? Is that what you're saying? The codependent? So you're reading this will be me if I am into you.
If you're into me and I'm not into you, and I'm not into you,
right.
This is you.
Are you the manipulatee or the manipulator?
Right.
I am the and he's
You're the manipulator.
Right, so I'm depending on you.
So that statement said that person is controlling, though. So the manipulator is controlling.
No, this statement is saying that the person who gets manipulated, not the person who's doing the
is controlling.
It's controlling.
That doesn't really make no sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm pretty controlling.
Well, both of them could be controlling. Because here's the thing, I want you to feel sad or upset or bothered.
You're opposing your feelings.
Because I'm feeling that type of way.
Right.
If I'm miserable, I want you to feel miserable. If I'm sad or I feel lonely, I want you to feel sad or lonely.
But they want you to feel like it's your fault that they feel the way they do.
But then the other side of it, for you making me feel that way, like it's your fault that you feel that way. No one made you feel that way. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of up and down type of situation.
It's a balancing act. Yeah, it's a balancing act.
Well, I myself, again, will say that I think I've been on both ends of the stick.
So you have been the manipulator and the manipulated?
I have. I also held people hostage of love, and I also been a hostage of love as well. As we stated, collectively, it all definitely does have to do with age. As I was younger, you don't care about me. I was more to do this and do that. Versus when I'm older, it's kind of like, all right, I done heard this 20 different times before. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to approach this situation a lot different. Like, yeah, you may be upset with me, but I feel like give you time, you might calm down. Versus at the moment, I'm not going to go back and forth with you, because if I go back and forth with you, don't do nothing, escalate, it makes it worse.
What you said just made me think. Maybe I'm a switch.
Why do you say that?
Because what you're saying, like if I feel like someone's manipulating me, I'm really good at manipulation. Like I didn't.
But you don't like to be controlled either, though.
I don't like to be controlled. Yeah. But however, I will be passive.
Yes,
I will be passive. For the sake of argument, because like I said earlier, I don't like to argue. So I think you could actually play both of those roles, and I would probably say that's what I do more.
I think if you come out, now I ain't trying to give nobody no secret tips on Sunshine.
Don't give no fucking tips.
So don't be trying to inbox me. Hey, can I get some more? I think when it comes to you and Candy, I think it's the point that you all can be submissive, but it's kind of like almost trick y'all into being submissive. Like, y'all will get a man of respect, but it's kind of like I can't tell both of y'all go sit down. I can say, won't y'all come sit down with me?
But it depends why you're telling me to sit down.
But it also...
No, I'm just saying the verbiage. If I'm telling y'all to go sit down, y'all gonna look at me both like, what the fuck? Like, but if I'm saying, let's go sit down, y'all more likely to go sit down.
Right.
It's my approach.
Yeah, but for anybody, and it's not even about being the dom the dom or
I'm
dominant.
gonna change it to BDSM.
Yeah, it's not even about being a dominant thing. And I'm gonna go back and read what Skylar put. But what buttons to push for someone.
Right, that's true.
You know that it's easier to get somebody to do something with honey than it is for some people.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Catch more bees with honey.
But so if we're in here and you say, hey, you look tired, you should go sit down for a little while. I'll be like, okay. And you're like, God damn it, you motherfucking look tired. Go sit your fucking ass down. That right there's like,
Okay.
who the fuck you think you're talking to?
So
we
let's
got
have
a phone call.
Oh, woo! They saved you.
Adult conversation.
Hello.
Hi, you got to turn down, Charlie. You have to turn
Charlie,
down.
turn your Android down.
Turn it down.
Yeah.
We get
echo.
feedback.
Is that better?
Yes.
A little bit.
Sorry.
Charlie,
Yes.
I want to argue with you.
You always want to argue with me.
I know. So, do you remember what you said on Candy's feed?
Yes.
Do you truly feel that, or you just said it for the public?
No, it is an emotional hostage situation. When someone is telling you that they feel some type of way and you're refusing to acknowledge it, but you want them to dead the situation. Now, for that person, they have to be subjugated to you repeating that behavior again and making them feel exactly the same way without having any recourse or having any way to speak about it and to get it resolved. We don't know what the resolution would be without having to communicate, without talking about it. But the point is that now they're held hostage to feeling that way without having any type of resolution. So by you not acknowledging it or having a conversation about it, then that poses a problem.
Okay, so everything is based upon circumstances, but suppose this is a situation that happens all the time, and I don't want to acknowledge it. Then what?
But the reason why things happen all the time is because you didn't resolve it. You can't continue. You're continuing the behavior, and the person is keep telling you, but you not resolving it. You're still doing it.
But what about if I told you? Okay, so let's go from men and women. Let's just say you tell me to put the toilet seat down every time I use the bathroom, and I continue to don't do it, right?
And then we cut
that bothers you, correct? That bothers you, correct? That every time you go to use the bathroom, it's not put down, right?
True. Turn your computer down or something, Charlie.
You in your car? Turn your thing down, Charlie.
Okay, hold on one second.
And I think that if
is this better?
Yes.
So with your scenario, that person might kirk out. So if the person keeps telling you that is their pet peeve, that you keep leaving the seat up, I'm telling you that person might kirk out. You might go in there and lift up the seat one day, and they might have crazy glued the shit down. Like, they might take it too far because they feel as though you're not taking their feelings in consideration.
So that's my point. So if you are telling me, if I came to you and you did something and I'm not acknowledging what you're saying, I might be at my point because you're not listening or you haven't listened to what I've been saying all along. I might be at my breaking point. So for instance, Charlie said earlier, if I don't listen to Candy, I'm being what? The hostage? Correct, Charlie?
Yeah, it's a form of control.
Okay.
It is. So let me ask you this, using your same example.
Okay.
Because I lived this. I lived that example that you speak of. So what is the reason why you wouldn't put the seat down if you knew that it bothered your mate?
You want me to give you one or several?
I mean, it doesn't matter if you give one, if you give 40.
So, one is, she got hands, she can put it down.
But she ain't put it up.
Don't matter. She got hands.
Matter.
She can put it down. For two.
Okay, so go ahead.
For two, I just didn't want to. People do it all the time. People do things that's best for them all the time.
Okay, so each one of your examples is a part of control.
I agree.
Why is that?
You're controlling the situation. You're controlling the person to want to change them, to alter them, to make sure to fit into your needs, in opposed to you finding some type of solution to say, if one of your examples would have been, I simply forgot, that would have made sense. But when you're telling me your reasons why you're doing it is to manipulate a situation, then you're controlling and you're holding them hostage.
So she's not. Hold on, I got to say this. So
that.
she's not controlling me by making me put it down.
No.
Why not?
No, because that's something she's feeling. It's a feeling that she has that bothers her. Now, case in point, if the C is she could have a fear of falling in the toilet. Maybe something happened from her past that when she fell in the toilet, it was not a good feeling or something happened. So that triggered it. So she explained to you, this is why I feel this way about this. But you're simply discounting it because you feel that you have hands, you can fix the situation. It's on you to make do with it. But you have not one time tried to find a compromise or try to alleviate the situation.
Exactly.
You're basically saying, "Oh well, it's my way or no way."
And then let's piggyback off the beginning of this statement. The beginning was that you said that you wasn't even going to acknowledge their feelings. For me, and I'm not going to say for everybody, but for me, if I brought something to you and I say, it really bothers me that you don't put the seat down, and you just say whatever and continue to do it, that would bother me more than if I say, it bothers me that you don't put the seat down. And you say, you know what, I understand that it bothers you, but I'm not going to remember. I'm going to continue to leave the seat up.
That's not acceptable.
But to me, I can get past that because at least you acknowledge my feelings and acknowledge that it bothers me. But to flat out tell me, fuck you and your feelings.
I'm not even getting over it. First of all, let's add the part of the respect. It's just a respectful thing. It's something simple. I don't allow the seat. If you need a seat up in my house, I'm coming after you. You're going to put the motherfucker down.
Yeah, I know. We put that on my to-do list.
And the reason why you
my bucket list
is because when I have to go to the bathroom, I don't want to see underneath the seat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not always the best thing to have to look at.
Okay, so me and you, we have a different qualm about that.
But it's such a little thing. Like, you're lifting it up. Like, put it down.
Okay.
It's just really simple.
Because she did not lift the seat up.
I didn't lift it up, so why should I have to put it down?
Okay, so suppose I have a phobia. You know, it's heavy and I can't aim.
You know
right.
what? I'm not gonna let you.
What?
I'm not gonna let you. But someone said to me before, and I think it was my nephew, and he's like, "I don't want to touch it." I'm like, "Get a piece of toilet paper, fool. You don't
You
need
had
but
to
one
fucking
square."
touch it to put it up.
No, he uses
That's
a
what he's
square of
saying.
toilet paper.
No, that's what he's saying. He don't like to touch it.
And then
I
I've
can
also
understand that.
seen
Stop
people
pissing on it.
use their foot. And I said, why would you? Now I can see if you're in a public space, but if I see you or think that you're using your foot, because your shoe print might go on my toilet, and then I gotta go and sit my ass on that toilet. Oh no, we gonna have a problem.
Hey, Charlie.
Ain't that right, Charlie?
Yes.
I appreciate you calling in and arguing with me, Charlie.
He's so much trouble. When we get off air, I'm gonna bust him right in the back of his head.
I'll see you this weekend. I've been wearing your shades too.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, Charlie.
Just wrong.
Lord, I can't.
All right, so we got what?
30 minutes?
30 minutes?
No, we have
25 minutes.
25.
All right, we still got Candy question and Sunshine certification coming up.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a little impromptu poem that I did, I guess, and then we're going to commercial break.
Are we done with the topic?
No.
Okay.
Still,
just
y'all want to?
Go for it. No, go for it.
I mean, it deals with the topic.
No, go for it.
Okay.
Knock
So
yourself
I'm not a real poet, and I don't want to insult anybody that actually does poetry, spoken word, whatever you want to call it. I just did with that with a little bit. So the name of my thing is Peace. Yeah,
the name of your piece is
Hostage of Love. All right. Love, I thought I was dating you, but it seems like I now bonded to you. When things get shaky, the more your action seems flaky. Please let's separate in peace, because the way I feel for you, it seems to cease. I want to stay and work things out, but it seems that my mind wants to go in a different route. Things between us, it seems like a hostile takeover, and you demanding I stay is over, takes me over and over. How I feel and what I really want to do, love, I'm not your hostage, even for you. That's it.
That was nice.
Very nice.
Thank you for sharing.
All right, so we're going to take a quick music break here on Adult Conversation. We're still going to get back to the topic for a couple of minutes. Please call 301-232-5700. Once again, that number 301-232-5700. And let's go with Candy. Candy, what they need to do while we're going to break?
Get the app. Get the app. Get the app. Did I do it right?
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Get your motherfucking app.
All right. So be sure to get the app, and also follow us on Instagram at Adult Conversation with a K, all one word. We'll be right back here on RipRadioNetwork.com.
Girl, your body is so amazing. The way you walk across that floor just drives me crazy. You're 23, say your makeup. When you're walking down the street, I know you got haters. The feeling that I get, I can't explain it. When you walk away, it's like that ass is famous. Hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, just walk away, walk away, just walk away, walk away. Hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away. Excuse me if I'm staring, but you won't believe what my mind is preparing. I'm anticipating the way you all got me so discombobulated. The feeling that I get, I can't explain it. When you walk away, it's like that ass is famous. Hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, just walk away, walk away, just walk away, walk away. Hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, there's nothing like a woman who is full of so much swag. They got the attitude, they walk around, they know that they are that. Just nothing on them waving that hair got me in a trance. I love the way they walk on by so I can get a glance. Hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away, just walk away, walk away, just walk away, walk away. Hate to see you leave, but I love it when you walk away. When you walk away.
All right, welcome back to Adult Conversation each and every Tuesday here, 5 to 7 p.m. on RipRadioNetwork.com. I am Unrestricted D.
I am Candy.
I'm Sunshine Aces.
And I'm Just Drew representative for tonight.
You just drew adjacent?
Yeah, that too. All right, so if you're just tuning in, and we appreciate those who have been listening all night, we are talking about holding people hostage with love. That's right. Holding people hostage with... You missed your cue. See, Drew would have did it. All right, let's try it again.
I missed it, but I got one.
Holding people hostage with...
These nuts.
That one works too.
I'll take that one.
I'm a Sunshine or Unrestricted. Hey, Drew didn't call in.
He busy.
Are we doing Candy questions?
I'm sorry. No,
Candy,
I just asked him questions.
Okay.
How do you avoid being held hostage? Do you?
You want me to get my paper?
I mean, in general, because you said you don't get held hostage.
No, I mean, no, I'm not saying I don't. I don't do it. I try not to do it to other people, though. I would say you avoid it by sticking to your limits of what's acceptable in your life. And when someone does do something and you feel like you're being held hostage, that it's important that you speak on it. And not just because you start a cycle. And if you allow that cycle of abuse to start, it's like when a man or a woman hits you and you stay with them. Like you're allowing that cycle of abuse to fester and continue. So,
okay.
Jay?
How do you avoid it?
What's the question again? I told you I'm just Drew. What'd you say?
How do you avoid being held hostage?
You don't.
You don't?
Yeah, because I think to a certain extent you are responsible of how people feel, especially if you are in a, as we state all the time, committed relationship. But if you're in a situationship, I guess you still have to be responsible for that ship part. But that ship could sail away. Get it? Ship sail away. Okay. Anyway, but I don't know. I haven't learned the art yet. Maybe I need to go to Sunshine certification class to find out how
Starting in July, I got you.
July? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it weekends or during the week?
Weekends.
Okay, good.
I got work during the week, don't you?
All right, I do.
What you
about
think,
you, Candy?
I'm gonna just read because it's
That ain't
easier.
fair.
I mean, I gave it to you too. I threw you to oop. I saw 3 things. The first one was focus on yourself. Not easy if you have been focusing on someone else's needs and problems for as long as you can remember. The second thing is to meditate, practicing focus, breathing, stillness, and any other form of meditation. And then the last thing is discover your limits and your beliefs. Simply put, our beliefs and emotions control our thoughts and our actions. So basically, if you feel as though you're being held hostage, those are some of the things that you can do to try to alleviate it.
All right. So since we've been going on with that, we might as well go into.
Oh.
Well, she's getting ready. I'm going to tell y'all one more thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm almost broke, y'all.
Who's calling you?
I don't know. I'm on air, though. Don't call me right now, please. So, I want you ready? If you're ready, I can skip it.
But you can go ahead.
All right, I wanted y'all to hear this part that it says, someone who holds you hostage emotionally. I already read that part. I'm sorry. You might see them as being so in love with you that they would rather die without you. This isn't the case. They're manipulating you to get what they want. The point is to hold you accountable for the feeling of sadness that will follow a breakup. They may be feeling anxious about the relationship, but instead of facing those fears head on, they carry them to you. So just watch out with that. Like if you're in a relationship and someone's always telling you that they're going to die without you, like you might want to rethink that relationship, because that's actually kind of scary.
Tell them to Facebook Live it.
Really, though? Moving on. Candy's questions.
Don't do that.
It's time for Can You Answer Candy's Questions? All that we ask is that your answer is honest and real.
Always.
And if you have a question you want Candy to ask live, email it to candy@adultconversation.com.
Yes, silly. All right, I'm going to start with you, Sunshine.
Okay.
Are you the aggressive when pursuing someone?
Am I what?
The aggressive when pursuing someone.
I'm not a pursuer, so no.
All right, I'm restricted.
I sure am. If I want something, I go get it.
Yeah.
98, 99% of the time. 98. I ain't gonna be too cocky.
Candy.
I'm not aggressive.
You're not a pursuer either?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Oh, what's the difference?
I'm not aggressive. Are you
Am I aggressive to go
pursue
after
relationships, but I'm not aggressive. So I'm only aggressive once not aggressive, but I can be more aggressive in the situation if I believe that person wants.
So if I want somebody, am I being aggressive or am I being a pursuer?
I don't know.
See, y'all confusing me now.
Next question, Candy.
Yes, I'm confused.
Nah,
Okay.
hold up, because I don't want people to think, oh, he aggressive.
You are.
Yeah, you are a little aggressive.
You
today.
are very aggressive.
So I put that lid on that joint.
How many beers?
You are aggressive and a pursuer. So
Heineken make me aggressive. Coronas make me a pursuer.
You're an aggressive
Let's go.
pursuer right now.
All right, unrestricted.
Yes, ma'am.
If you were interviewing someone for the position of your woman, what 3 questions would you ask?
Do she suck a dick? Number one.
That don't
How
really
do she
matter.
suck a dick?
That don't really matter.
And when will she suck the dick?
I mean, because 10 times out of 10, whatever one I'm dealing with, she already does that. So,
Okay.
One would be, is she supportive? 2, if she is, I'm not gonna say motherly, but stepmommy duty-ish type.
We can just say, is she nurturing?
Okay, that
Keep,
nurturing.
don't ever say is she
And-
motherish.
And the last one that I would like for her to be is be bisexual or bi-curious.
That's in your top 3?
Yep.
Wow.
Go ahead, Sunshine.
I mean, can you?
For
You had to
your man. So, what 3 questions would you ask someone who for the position of your man?
I don't really have a survey for that yet, but I mean, a questionnaire. I
What
should
3
do
qualities
one.
you want them to have?
They need to be understanding, respectful, and and trusting.
Okay.
For me, Candy.
Do you have any STDs? Do you take care of your kids? And do you work?
I'm glad I made the cut.
Y'all are tough.
What?
cut.
If you
Y'all
don't do
are tough.
those, if you fail any of those 3, we're not gonna work out.
So what about if he got a job and he take care of his kids?
Ain't got STDs?
Just chlamydia.
What?
Just chlamydia.
Please don't. Oh my
Just a
goodness.
couple pills. It get
No,
rid of
it's
that.
a no. It's a no.
No, I
it's
like
a no.
raw sex. No.
What about
It's a
genital
no.
warts?
You know what?
God.
She said STDs, not me.
What's
okay,
your
go
next?
ahead.
What's your
Let's
next
go.
question?
All right, who did I start with last time? Sunshine.
Me.
your
You
turn.
started with me.
Have you ever dated a felon?
Yeah. Yes, I've dated a fella.
Really?
Yeah, I like them roughnecks. I used to like them roughnecks back in the day. But I mean, a felon could be. I mean, some things are felons that really should be misdemeanors. I mean,
Okay.
I don't judge people by their record because some people have changed. You know,
True.
I have friends that they were ex-cons, but they're good people now. They're productive citizens. Would you?
No. Have you?
Have you?
No.
Never. So,
First of all, I was with my.
did you do that background check, though?
On who? I didn't date. How many people think I dated? I haven't dated that many people. The first relationship I had was for 17 years.
Right.
And the next 3, I knew those people.
They weren't cons.
Yeah, I knew they weren't
Okay.
cons.
Have you dated some ex-cons?
Um,
So you weren't saying the word con. What
Have
were
you
saying?
ever dated someone
with a felon?
Have you ever dated a felon?
not a felon, no.
Okay.
I wouldn't say dated though. I've
Most of
hung
my
out
girls
with
are goody
felons.
two-shoes. I mean, they got a little in them, but they, I
They got
guess,
a little thug in them.
yeah, they never just got caught. Or nobody ever pressed charges on them or something.
I mean, the girls you date are definitely criminals.
I agree.
I mean, I'm not gonna say
I do know
I
some
shouldn't.
unlawful
I've done
actions.
some unlawful shit.
Yeah, I know some
Like I
unlawful-
will
just so
run
they
a
get
red
caught.
light.
I don't
Fuck
think
that
that's a
red light. Unrestricted.
Yes,
Where do
ma'am.
you find inspiration?
By myself.
Sunshine,
In the sunshine.
Candy.
music. Okay, Sunshine. What's the most effective daily habit you possess?
The most effective.
Yeah.
The most effective daily habit. I don't know. I mean, a daily habit, effective. What is it?
I mean, good. I don't know. What's the best?
I mean, shit. I brush my teeth a couple times a day, take a bath. I mean, I don't
Okay.
really have daily habits
All
per
right.
se. Yeah.
That is a hobby. Oh. I don't know. I'm lost to that question myself. What about you, Candy? Maybe I can
Do
go
you have
off
a
of
daily
you.
habit?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Make money.
Masturbate.
Find ways to make money for everybody.
Yeah, but sometimes I make money and I really ain't doing shit.
I understand.
Yeah, so.
But
yeah,
that's,
but that's
my
a
most
good habit for
effective.
you.
But-
That's what's up.
all right. Last question. Unrestricted. Should you disclose the people you're dating that you're fucking raw? I'm sorry. Should you disclose to the people you're dating that you're fucking other people raw?
I plead the fifth.
Sunshine.
Morally, you should. Reality, 9 times out of 10, most people won't.
Mm-hmm. Sunshine.
So you said, should you disclose to the person
people that you're dating,
the people
that you're
dating.
fucking other people? So,
are you fucking that person wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. You just fucking them.
You should definitely disclose it. Okay. Yeah, morally, it's just the right thing to do.
Right, morally, it's the right thing,
yeah.
but reality, you're not gonna really probably get that out of most people.
Of course, you should. What do you think? Well, to me, you should.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but I'm just saying, reality,
on,
people won't do it.
Like, you should do it like when you're ready to break up with the person.
Awkward moment right here.
I mean, I just because any way you look at it, it's just wrong.
I know, because
it's just wrong.
Okay, so if you're cheating, of course you're not going to disclose that information that you fucking someone else wrong.
I mean, when you're cheating, I think that's one of the questions that people ask. Did you fuck them raw? I haven't been in a relationship and a situation pop off where that question has not asked. It was either, are you fucking them raw, or did you eat her pussy?
I don't even have time for this debate.
No, really.
But I understand what you're saying. But what I was gonna say though, I mean, if you're fucking raw, then there's already a predisposition there that you're trusting the person that you're fucking. So not only are you being inconsiderate to them and their life, when you're fucking someone raw, you're fucking everybody they fucked for a certain period of time.
Okay.
So, I mean, I personally think that shit should be, like, criminalized.
So let me ask you this question. So,
like,
you
don't have it should be illegal to fuck someone raw and you're knowingly fucking raw. Because there's a level of trust there, or you wouldn't make the decision to fuck raw in the first place.
I'm sorry.
You started it.
I know, but anybody who's willing to fuck someone else raw without getting tested, without having a conversation, they're stupid anyway. I mean, I hate to say it like that.
I'm going to say this, and this may go against God code, but if I was to fuck somebody raw, okay, mentally, emotionally, morally, I trust them. Okay. Might be morally wrong, but the second person, if I fuck them raw, mentally, emotionally, morally, I fucks with them too. Morally, it's wrong. I said that. But I think it depends on the circumstance of how people view that person. I don't think anybody you may know that person is out there, but you may know that person character like, oh no, he ain't gonna just fuck anything and go raw. He may fuck people, but he ain't gonna fuck that person raw.
When you look at someone though, when you look at a person, and I analyze people all the time, especially because of the way I move. Like both events I were at in Texas this weekend, just for the record, neither one of them were lifestyle. I'm still me though. I'm still gonna rock how I rock. Now, guarantee you, everybody knew I was in that motherfucking room and I was a little different because I move different. You know, what I do has caused me to behave differently and move different. But anyway, I'm looking at it. With that said, you still get a flavor of a person just from taking a look at them. So you can't necessarily say, and what we do, it's a total different vibe. Like you're talking about something totally different. I mean, all the parties we've had, we always promote that you use protection. But that still doesn't mean that when you see a person, you already assess them in levels of things. Like, do they take care of themselves? I mean, you don't expect to see.
True.
I go.
This is a future topic.
Yeah,
it's
gonna go too deep.
Because this is baby, I like it raw.
You started it.
I bet you do.
But the original question is, do you owe that to let them know that you are fucking other people raw. Yes, you do.
Yes, I agree. Yes,
yes, you do. I'm going with yes.
But people
on that.
don't. The end. They won't. All right. It's time for.
You got another question? Why Sunshine get ready for Sunshine certification?
I'm ready. I got it in my mind. But
okay.
go with it, Candy.
No,
Bro. Give us
no.
Because she provoked all this stuff, and now I got to pee.
Oh. So you want to take a quick,
We cannot.
Can we take a quick music break?
We have 5 minutes left.
I'm not saying I was going. I said, let's do this.
Oh, she said keep going. Let's go.
I don't have one. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
It's time for Sunshine certification.
Now, I like how you do it. You got to do it like Drew.
It's your favorite part of the night, listeners. Sunshine's certification. Listen as Sunshine certifies businesses and events. Also, if you want your business or event certified, email sunshine@adultconversation.com.
Hey guys, I'm going to tell you all again a little bit more about Texas. I was invited down from a young lady that Drew and I met in Dallas last year, and there was an all-white event. And when I tell you, and again, it was
clothes or people?
All white. I mean, just wore all white.
Oh.
But it was a really nice affair. Like, they had a nice band.
That was a nice dress you had on too, by the way.
Thank you very much. And then somebody from Miami was down as well. So it was really a great weekend. But the thing that I was most impressed about with them was that when I got in the state, they were literally like, are you here? Did you make it okay? Like, what do you want to do? Did you need this? Did you need that? Like, they took me out to this cabaret style event. And they had already gotten the VIP ticket, and it was great. So big shout out to Kim and Laura down in Texas, and I'm also Kevin. Everybody that I partied with this weekend. Thank you for being such gracious hosts. Because I brag about Miami all the time, so I had to give Texas that proper love because they did the damn thing, and I can't wait to go back. So in my travels, because I hadn't unpacked, I couldn't find nothing white to wear, and what I could find to wear was a little off. So I'm literally riding down in Texas and past this store, and the person who was traveling with me noticed it and was like, oh, that said Sarah's Secrets. Well, of course, if it's a secret, my nosy ass want to know what it is. So I'm like, ooh, Google it, see what it is. So lo and behold, I roll up and we Google it, and the website, it was saying they were closed, but they were actually open. So anyway, we roll up in the store, and it was actually a very nice Texas boutique, and it's a romance boutique. Who would have thunk it? So the outfit that I had on that night, I actually got from the boutique. I had another outfit that claimed to be a dress on a tall, slender white woman, but it was actually a shirt on me. So I rocked with that one. But the prices were great. I bought Pheromones. I love Pheromones, and I was almost out. And they had some great flavors of my favorite lube that I need to certify as well, which is Wicked. That's my new favorite. So I had to bring it in and show y'all how it feels on my face. It feels just it's so silky. Good. You like Wicked? I love Wicked. They had pink lemonade. They had vanilla. I'm in that joint like a kid in a candy store. So they were very pleasant. When I got to the register, I asked them about the boutique. Well, they are only located in Texas, but I'm very proud of them because they have just finished their 22nd store, all located within the state of Texas. And they said the store I went in, which I want to say was in Lancaster, but don't quote me. I'm sorry, I forgot. But whatever store I went in, they said that was the busiest one. They were actually remodeling to expand it. But the setup was nice. I met Matt and Sarah. Of course, I told them about us. And they looked at me a little funny when I gave my Sunshine Aces LLC credit card. I was like, it's me, don't worry. I give you my ID too. Because I did buy a lot of stuff. But yeah, I love to see, and they're younger people. So they doing the damn thing. So shout out to Sarah's Secret. So if you see it and you're in Texas, stop in and make a purchase.
All right.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to Texas. They
Shout
say
out.
if you're doing it in
They
Texas,
do
you
big
gotta do
things.
big things.
You go to Texas.
Pause. I can't say that. I can't say that. All
They
right,
do it big.
so real quick, we only got about 2 minutes. So
Yes.
May 4th, Sunshine is what?
This Saturday, oh my goodness, I've been working so hard on this Sunshine Sexy Spring Fling. I will be sending out information later on this week. You definitely don't want to miss this, even though Candy and T aren't coming.
I know, unfortunately, we can't make it. But we will be there August 30th. But May 16th through the 19th, KKSE will be at Deep Creek. Candy. June 28th is what?
Adult Skip Day Pool Party. Go to adultconversation.com for more information.
All right, August 3rd will be Play Night Social Anniversary Party. You do want to be there. You don't want to miss it because if you know Play Night Social, if you know any of us, we do it big. This is vanilla friendly and lifestyle event. So get in contact with us. Sunshine.
Labor Day weekend, we'll be rocking down in Miami. Hit me or just Drew up for more information.
All right. So thank y'all for tuning in to Adult Conversation. We appreciate everyone who viewed in and listened. And we wish you all a good week and productive week. And we all love you. And we are in love with you.
I'm in both. I love y'all and I'm in love with y'all.
All right.
I'm in love with myself.
Okay. So, not me and Dirt? Okay. So, and Miguel? Okay. And my kids? Okay. So, look, we're going to be out of here right now, but tune in each and every Tuesday here on Adult Conversation on RipRadioNetwork.com.
Thank you.
Good night.